Tonight, we finally find out what the brand new NXT 2.0 is in the vision of WWE. Welcome to SCW here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Please subscribe right now. Leave in the comments in the comment section. Please like and share the video as well. Coming up in this video, going to go through the matches and segments planned for tonight's NXT. Going to give my take and my predictions on it as well, including who will be the brand new NXT champion as Samoa Joe has vacated the title. We'll be talking about that as well. But first off, let's just go into what this new NXT is supposed to represent, because WWE have been teasing for a number of weeks now that we're going to get a new NXT 2.0. We've got a brand new logo, which you've probably seen on screen already for the last number of weeks in WWE. It's a lot more colourful, it's a lot more brighter, seems to be a lot more inviting. We're away from the black and gold, the darkness of what was the Capitol Wrestling Centre. We've been given this vision of what's going to be almost a mini small arena similar to Raw and SmackDown. It's kind of got that vibe of what the Thunderdome was like, what we saw with the entrance way before we got fans coming back, but of course fans will be in attendance in this brand new NXT form of arena, whatever they want to call it going forward. It's kind of a cross between that and what was like Saturday Night Main Event from WCW back in the day. That's the sort of arena we're going to get. Now, quick initial thoughts on this, because obviously I'll have a much more bigger point of view once we see it in the flesh this evening, but I like what I see so far via the advertisements. I think that this could be exciting, fresher, more open going forward. I felt the CWC never quite worked for me. I felt closed off, felt a bit almost trapped, if you want, and it is very indie-fied, where this feels like it is going to be something that's more designed for USA, for national television. This could be a much fresher design looking set. We'll probably get different theme music as well. We've got more of a hip-hop style, it seems, with over the advert we're getting. That's probably going to be the new theme, probably more inviting for a mainstream audience rather than the sort of screaming metal music, which I'm a metal fan, so I personally didn't mind it before, but I understand that probably this is looking to try and reach for a wider audience, and that's probably why all the bright colours as well. So that's what I think they're looking to try and do, get as much of an open audience to come in as possible to give NXT a go. That's what I think the changes there represents. In ring, what we're expecting, of course, is younger athletes under the age of 30, not people that have been on the indies for 10, 15 years. Those sort of people, WWE is not interested in. They want the new stars of tomorrow, and probably bigger sort of style superstars, almost like back to the 80s. You want your Odyssey Jones, your Duke Hudsons, probably Rich Hollands. Those are the people you can expect long term to be pushed in NXT going forward. Perhaps the long guard that we've had of the Johnny Garganos, Tommaso Ciampas, that could be about to change. We may see a different NXT going forward, and that even goes to show with the NXT Championship, because Samoa Joe is, or was, your current NXT champion. He has vacated the belt as of Sunday evening. Speaking on his Twitter, he said that of course due to certain injuries he's going to take an undetermined amount of time away from the ring, and he hopes to be back soon and to then collect what is his, which is the NXT Championship. Always a fantastic promo, Samoa Joe, but unfortunately just can't seem to catch a break at the moment. But with Vince and Bruce Pritchard now having more control of what's going on, maybe some of this, you could think to yourself, there could be a little bit more into this than what meets the eye. Maybe Samoa Joe, remember, wasn't cleared to compete on Raw SmackDown for the longest time. Comes to NXT with Triple H, and all of a sudden seems to be back in the ring. He's now back out of it. He's only been NXT champion for what was 21 days. Of course, hasn't competed though since winning that championship. Whatever the situation is, I hope Samoa Joe, wish him a speedy recovery. Hope he gets back in the ring soon. I personally enjoy his work. I think it's fantastic. So for me, I hope he's back sooner rather than later. But of course that brings us in to the card this evening of what we can look forward to. And of course what was meant to be a fatal 4-way number 1 contenders match is now going to be for the NXT Championship. William Regal has confirmed this. So the 4 people going for it are Pete Dunne, we've got Tommaso Ciampa, we've got Kyle O'Reilly, and LA Knight. They're going to be your 4 competitors who will go for the NXT Championship. Now of course, giving a prediction, I've said on Twitter previously, I think that Pete Dunne was the person that was originally going to win this fatal 4-way to go after Samoa Joe. I felt they were building towards a match between those two. So my natural feeling would be that Pete Dunne would win this fatal 4-way and become the NXT champion, as he was going to be the person probably in the championship program. But at the same time, there has been a little bit of speculation going on about Pete Dunne's contract. So let's see what happens. And Pete Dunne and Rich Holland broke off from Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch last week, could there be, maybe some redemption from, Lorcan and Birch this week, costing Pete Dunne the match? We'll have to wait and see. And what happens if Pete Dunne loses? Does Ridge Holland turn on him and we see Ridge Holland push to the moon? We'll have to wait and see. But still, my favourite in this match will be Pete Dunne. But let's not forget any of the other competitors. Tommaso Ciampa, someone that's been there, the guard before, but he's not won Goldie back yet since giving up all those years ago. Would be good to see Ciampa get another run as NXT champion, although he hasn't been pushed for a main eventer for some time. Someone who has in and around is Kyle O'Reilly. Got a big win at NXT TakeOver 36, defeating Adam Cole before he went off to AEW. So Kyle O'Reilly at the moment you'd think would be in the perfect position as a babyface to go and take over that role that Samoa Joe was going to be doing. So that way Kyle O'Reilly can fill in that spot and take on the heels that Joe was meant to be taking going forward. Your last potential one is LA Knight, which probably would seem as an underdog to many, but to me, he seems like the most Vince McMahon style guy. He's great on the mic, a great promo, a great look as well. In-ring style, doesn't do that indie sort of flippity flop everywhere and that sort of stuff. He's got the natural look, build, and can do a safe style in the ring that I think sort of Vince McMahon would go for. So even though he's an outside bet, I wouldn't be surprised if LA Knight was to win the championship tonight. If it's not Pete Dunne, I will predict LA Knight will walk away as the brand new NXT champion, and that would send on night one an instant change of the guard and what a change of direction of what they're looking for in stars going forward. That would tell it on day one if LA Knight was to win this match. But I will stick with the Pete Dunne prediction just because I think he was on his way to the main event scene anyway. Elsewhere in the card, Raquel Gonzalez will be taking on Franky Monet, which will be NXT Women's Championship match on the card. Interesting to see that Franky Monet already getting this opportunity on this NXT, but it's a big night, so hopefully more eyes will be on the TV screens watching this match. I don't think Raquel Gonzalez is losing that championship anytime soon. I think they're going to build between Raquel and Kaylee Ray, perhaps in the long-term future. So expect Gonzalez to retain here. The only way the belt changes hands here is if they already think that Raquel Gonzalez is ready to go to Raw and SmackDown. Last but not least, going to be talking about the wedding of Index. Now, talk about a change of the guard of NXT. We're expecting characters going forward in this NXT as well, not just indie stars that are great in ring. It's all about the characteristics, and what better way to say on night one we've got characteristics than an NXT wedding. I think that's when NXT was a game show as well. Do you remember the series format they used to do when they do like promo school? They'd run around the ring with beer barrels and do these silly looking trials. It was back in those days when it was really developmental, if you want, before they turned to the indie style that we have been seeing for the last 8 years or so. So, I mean, looking at it, for me, this is definitely a big change. We've still got two real characters that are going to be involved in this as well. Index, of course, Indy Hartwell and Dexter Loomis. It's been questionable how this has been built together. I'd like to see more wedding stuff done rather than just the bachelor and bachelorette party, but the bachelor party last week was a lot of fun watching that, and it was quite fun as well seeing, because Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano have been against this wedding or against this relationship for the longest time, and both of them seemed very on board going into it. So I always thought that Austin Theory would return here, because let's be fair, weddings never go well in WWE. If there's one thing we've seen when it's been on Raw or SmackDown any time, I don't think we've ever seen a wedding just go through without any issues whatsoever, apart from maybe SummerSlam 1991 with Randy Savage and Liz. But anyway, going into what I think here, Austin Theory to return. And one suggestion I was given to by on my Q&A from Mike at Tannenham's Mike, he gets involved quite often with the NXT stuff, suggests the idea that Austin Theory could destroy the way at this as well and attack Johnny Gargano for accepting Dexter Loomis into the family, because he's not so accepting. This would be a really fun way to do this angle, because the way it would break up, you'd probably have the idea of Johnny Gargano going babyface. It would ruin the wedding as well, so you'd have a storyline going forth. It'd make a great cliffhanger for towards the mid part or end of the show, however you want to do it. People will be talking about this segment for the next week, so I really like the idea of that, not just Austin Theory returning here, maybe going for Dexter Loomis or whatever, but actually turning on Johnny Gargano, I think is a fantastic idea. But that's pretty much the basis of what we've got with this NXT here. It's a new NXT. It hopefully will be fresh. It hopefully will be exciting. NXT was great for the longest time. I'm going to finish off the video just talking about what we've seen for the last sort of 8 or so years of NXT, where we've seen these indie stars coming in. It's been fantastic to watch, but for the last couple of years, NXT has lost its identity. It had lost what its purpose was, which was to take people from the ground up that weren't ready and get them out there. We were supposed to get Bull Fit with Bull Dempsey back in the day, but we wasn't supposed to have the likes of Shinsuke Nakamura coming in from Japan, who was already ready for the main roster. We were supposed to, just have those new stars growing up. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to be going forward, and hopefully we will get more people that will be connecting better from NXT in a transition going to Raw and SmackDown, because if Vince is more hands-on with this, yes, we can say Vince is out of touch all we want, but I'd rather see an NXT where someone is actually getting over the character that is working in NXT that can then be used on Raw and SmackDown, rather than someone that's being used really well in NXT, then they get given to Vince on Raw and SmackDown, and then we just don't see the best of them ever again. We've got a chance here to build it from the start, because if it's not working in NXT, they won't get to Raw and SmackDown. So hopefully this will be better going forward. And of course, I will miss some of the great stuff we've seen with the old NXT, but I do think it was the right time to freshen things up and make a change, because since going to USA and going against AEW, it got exposed as being a third brand rather than developmental. It went into Survivor Series and won, which wasn't followed up on, and anyone that won in that Survivor Series got brought to Raw and SmackDown and weren't overly successful. Yes, there may be one or two names you might be screaming at the screen saying those were, but those were maybe one or two that got lucky that pulled through. Everyone else hasn't been so lucky and hasn't been successful. It's time to change the guard on that, which is why I'm really looking forward to NXT tonight. Let me know what you're looking forward to in the comments below. What do you hope to see? What do you expect to see? Do you think that this is going to be a better NXT? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to interact with you. But that's my preview anyway. Thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great day. Enjoy NXT tonight, and yeah, hope it's a good show. We'll be doing the live Q&A tomorrow, so there'll be plenty of Fallout discussion on this channel, so you can come and join me live, ask your questions, and they'll get answered straight there and then giving you a shout out as well. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. All the best. Check out these videos on the screen right now. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.